In social interactions, Sigma INFJs communicate in secret, but their nuanced behavioral and body language patterns make it clear what they need and want to express. These 8 items are what all Sigma INFJs want you to know. 8. They are simply independent in a society that occasionally confuses independence with snobbery. The Sigma INFJs would like you to know that their independence does not mean that they are indifferent to friendship or companionship. Rather, it's a conscious decision to foster personal development and a vibrant inner life that adds to their character's complexity. Their times of solitude are a conscious retreat into the self-reflection sanctuary rather than a disdain for social ties. They refuel emotionally and intellectually in this calm location, which helps them comprehend who they are and where they fit in the world better. The Sigma INFJs are strong connection lovers, but they also treasure independence, resiliency, and self-sufficiency. Their independence is evidence of their self-assurance in negotiating the challenges of life on their terms and establishing a path that is consistent with their goals and ideals. They observe partners who value their autonomy and recognize that it is an essential aspect of who they are rather than a sign of rejection in partnerships. It's an admission that one must be firmly rooted in one's own uniqueness before one can genuinely connect with others. 7. They simply enjoy in-depth discussions. They are not antisocial. A Sigma INFJ who is spending time alone is not retreating from society. Rather, they are purposefully embracing a setting where interactions go beyond the ordinary. They are looking for something more than the superficial conversations that make up informal social contacts. It's about delving into the complexities of concepts, feelings, and ideologies for them. The social lifeblood of the Sigma INFJs is deep talks. They just discover the depth of connection in conversations that peel back the layers of the human experience, not because they detest small talk. They see these talks as a necessity, a way to create real ties that endure over time, rather than just a luxury. The majority of people value quantity over quality in social connections, whereas Sigma INFJs long for environments where meaningful and sincere conversations take place. They want you to know that their search for deep talks is not a rejection of social ties, but rather a conscious decision to focus time and energy where it counts most. The inclination of Sigma INFJs towards in-depth conversations is evidence of their understanding of the intricacy of interpersonal relationships. It is an invitation to go beyond the surface and investigate the subtleties of cognition and feeling that are the foundation of true comprehension. As a Sigma INFJ, how do you respond to discussions that don't delve into concepts, feelings, and ideologies? 6. They find it difficult to express emotion, so when they do, they mean it. It's not always easy for Sigma INFJs to navigate the emotional environment. It's a trip through an intricate maze where emotions are dealt with in a way that very few people can understand. When they do show emotion, be it love, grief, or joy, it's a true disclosure of the complex fabric of their deepest being. Not that the Sigma INFJs are emotionless. Rather, they struggle with a fine balance between their analytical thinking and the deep well of emotions that reside within of them. When feelings come to the surface, it's a sign of the realness of the situation, an honest overflow of what's underneath the calm facade people frequently put on for the outside world. Recognizing that every emotion expressed by Sigma INFJs is well chosen and reveals something personal about them to people they trust is necessary to comprehending their emotional manifestations. It's not a casual comment when they say "I love you" or show vulnerability. Rather, it's a meaningful expression of feelings that have been carefully considered and decided to be expressed. 5. They only find original solutions to issues. They are not rebellious. The way that Sigma INFJs solve problems is like painting on a canvas of hardship. It's not about disobedience for the sake of disobedience, but rather a sincere desire to explore uncharted ground and solve a problem in a way that is all their own. They are creators of creative solutions, not just causeless rebels. The Sigma INFJs want you to know that, despite what may appear to be rebellious techniques to those who carefully follow established rules, their detour from the norm is not a rejection of authority, but rather a conscious decision to explore paths that are sometimes missed. They view issues as riddles that just need a little creativity to solve. The distinct way that Sigma INFJs approach problem solving is an expression of their own thought process. Instead of just following established routes, they pave new ones, realizing that creativity frequently results from having the guts to ask difficult questions and the audacity to come up with novel ideas. It's an approach that aims to effect real change rather than just cause a stir for the sake of stir. How do you promote creative thinking at work as a Sigma INFJ? 4. The Sigma INFJs have a unique leadership style, with a strong emphasis on vision. They look beyond the here and now, seeing a future that aligns with their values. They are not just focused on their present objectives. Their leadership serves as a beacon, encouraging people to look past the immediate problems and adopt a long-term outlook that is in line with a common goal. Another quality that sets their leadership apart is adaptability. The Sigma INFJs are aware that rigidity might be a barrier in the always changing world of difficulties. Their unique approach entails overcoming adversity with fortitude, converting setbacks into chances for development, and motivating others in their team to follow suit. Therefore, the leadership of the Sigma INFJs is a tapestry stitched with strands of vision, adaptability, and honesty. It's an original piece that goes beyond the typical, an invitation for those they lead to take part in a trip characterized not just by success, but also by the group realizing their maximum potential. 3. They don't fear change. The Sigma INFJs don't see it as a formidable foe. It's a powerful force that calls them to develop and change. Instead of viewing transitions as unsettling events to be avoided, they view them as chances for inquiry and for venturing into uncharted intellectual and experiential lands. The adaptability of Sigma INFJs is the reason behind their lack of fear of change. Instead than clinging on to the known, they see change as a vital component of life and a dynamic feature that helps them go forward. Their resilience is demonstrated by their capacity to navigate across the unknown waters of uncertainty. They are energized by the promise of change rather than paralyzed by it. They view change as a muse who inspires creativity and helps people come up with original answers to life's problems. The Sigma INFJs flourish in the face of change, seeing latent opportunities and potentials. Do you similarly think that change is a chance for growth rather than a burden like a Sigma INFJ? 2. There is no negotiating their values. It's non-negotiable when a Sigma INFJ conveys the significance of its values. They don't compromise on their convictions for the sake of convenience. These principles serve as the cornerstone of their identity and the moral framework around which their character is built. They want you to know that these beliefs form the foundation for their genuine existence. They are more than just platitudes. The Sigma INFJs value honesty beyond all else. Their ideals are ingrained in who they are. They are not dependent on outside factors. They resist the ever-changing tides and don't sway with the trends, standing steady in the face of constantly changing society norms and situational constraints. Their declaration that their ideals are uncompromising is more than just platitudes. It's a request that people in their immediate vicinity acknowledge the sacredness of these ideals and comprehend that compromising with them would be the equivalent of betraying oneself. Their ideals are not only guidelines to be followed, rather, they are the vital force that flows through them, giving each choice a genuine sense of meaning and purpose. 1. They are constantly looking to increase their comprehension and knowledge. Learning is never limited to a classroom or a textbook for the Sigma INFJs. As a result of their never-ending journey, they are enduring students of life who are constantly looking to learn more. Their curious minds are like sponges, soaking up information from a variety of sources, and always adding new strands to their vast body of knowledge. The pursuit of information by Sigma INFJs is motivated by a deep involvement with the world around them rather than just a desire for academic success. They view every interaction and event as a chance to pick up knowledge that will enhance their understanding and give their perception more depth. For Sigma INFJs, this never-ending quest is a source of excitement that keeps them intellectually vibrant rather than a burden. For them, there is an infinite library in the world, and every day is an opportunity to add a new chapter to their understanding. They want you to understand that their insatiable curiosity is a fundamental part of who they are, and not just a passing whim. Do you participate in topics that pique your interest as a Sigma INFJ? The complexity and contradictions of Sigma INFJs are not intended to be confusing to others, but regrettably, some people are not deep enough to see past their good intentions. But all these messages will be too clear to overlook after you've managed to get into the heads of Sigma INFJs and earn their trust. How do you explain these things to your loved ones as a Sigma INFJ? Do your peers think you're clear enough?